knock. Hi.
Hello, welcome to Knock Knock Hi with the Glaucomfleckens. I am Dr. Glaucomflecken, also known as Will Flannery.
I'm Lady Glaucomflecken, also known as Kristen Flannery.
Should like act like it's like a rock concert. Wow, go out whenever I'm a little bit louder.
When we do these, we're recording after lunch, and I always wonder what it is that you have in that cup of coffee that you have with your lunch, because you come back like this.
Just so you know, I have not had my afternoon coffee yet.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Thank you all for joining us today. We're talking to one of my favorite people. We've talked to him before, Dr. David Hilden, Chair of Internal Medicine, the Internal Medicine Department at Hennepin Healthcare in Minneapolis, and host of the Healthy Matters podcast,
which is where we talked to him before.
Yeah,
we haven't had him on our podcast yet.
That's right.
We've been on his.
Yeah, I've been dying to get him on. I don't know why I love talking to people from the Midwest.
Yeah. They're easy to talk to.
They are.
Yeah.
They're
friendly, polite.
And it's really, I think what's fascinating is living in different parts of the country.
Mm-hmm.
You just really get to see and experience the differences.
Would you say we've lived in every major region of the country? Maybe not the Southeast, but everything else?
Not Southeast, not Southwest, like Southern
Texas
California.
is kind of Southwest.
Oh, yeah, I guess
If I had to put, it's not Southeast, it's more Southwest.
So grew up in Texas, and how would you describe the people in Texas in general? Like the personalities?
Well,
things are slower.
Socially, like the social glue that holds everything together is, how to put this, inauthentic, perhaps.
All right, but Kristen here is also a bit biased. She is not a big fan of you didn't enjoy your upbringing in Texas.
That's true. And I also grew up in a different part, like a different subculture of Texas than you did.
Right.
Because you were in the city and I was very much out in the sticks. So it was different.
I would say what was so striking to me when we moved from Texas to New England was how slow I talked.
Yes.
Like everything.
Yeah, it's a slower pace.
It's a slower pace. People take their time. They kind of have long, winding stories. They kind of just meander around in their thought process.
But that's just kind of what's considered polite conversation, right? Like you don't want to come off as standoffish or rude. And so you just like engage in conversation. That's how it works.
Right.
And you ask things that in other parts of the country feel like very personal questions, right?
That's
or like,
true.
That's none of your business. Why would you even ask me that?
I'd also say that people are sometimes fake nice, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the inauthentic thing. Like, Like there's I think it's perhaps well-intentioned, right? Like it's meant to be sort of social lubrication that like in front of each other, we're all just going to get along and be nice. And then you hear what people really think in smaller, more private groups.
But then we moved to New England.
Yes.
And it was like I had like cotton balls in my mouth or like marbles. Like I felt like in hearing people
quickly
up there talk, I was like in slow motion.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing. And I still feel like that's the case. I still feel like I talk slow.
You're a slow talker.
I'm just a slow talker.
I'm a fast talker. I did okay out there.
You did okay, yeah. But then like it was like the second week that we were living up there, and I was at the store or something, and I think some lady bumped into me, and she said, "Oh, sorry," and I said, "Oh, don't worry about it." And she turned to me and she's like, "Why would I worry about it?"
You're like, "No, it's just what you say."
That was the first moment where I was like, things are different up here.
Yeah.
Like people are in some ways I respect it. Like people in New England and the Northeast, they're just like upfront and they tell you what they think.
Right.
And
honestly, that's my preferred way to be because it's just so much simpler.
Yeah.
All the guessing games, those are just exhausting.
Yeah, it really was fun, but it's just more of a shock.
More direct.
More of a culture shock to like see like a little bit more abrasiveness, you know?
See, it's interesting because I think some people do see that as abrasiveness, especially if you come from somewhere like the South or the Midwest. And then I don't really see it as abrasiveness. I just see it as like honesty and direct communication, which is the most efficient kind.
And then we moved to the Midwest,
Hmm.
which we wanted to stay. Like we love the people out there.
Yeah, it was nice. It
Yeah.
was nice. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we did.
I told you I wanted to go to Iowa, and you were
So
shocked.
sad.
You had all kinds of questions.
I really did.
What on earth is going on? But no, we went out there and we loved it. And you see that with our conversation with Dr. Hilden, just so laid back, like easy going,
kind of down home, right? Like just down to earth.
Yeah.
You know, people that if you needed something, they'd show up.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
But I mean,
I bet they have great potlucks.
Yes.
In the Midwest.
Right? The potlucks are good.
I bet they're great.
The hot dish.
The hot dish.
The tater tot casserole. Remember that? But, you know, I mean, it's a little bit like the South in that there is still a little bit of that kind of indirect communication, right? Like it's still to everyone's face, you're all very polite all the time, even if you might not really truly mean that. So, you know, that can be a little tricky. Certainly for me, that's a little tricky. But
yeah, but in the case of people from the Midwest, I think they like genuinely like are just happy with you at all times.
Yeah, they're just kind of easygoing.
Yeah.
For the most part,
absolutely.
I would say. Yeah.
Well, let's should we get to it?
Oh, we didn't do the Northwest.
Oh, the Northwest? Oh, what do we have to say about the Northwest?
What do you think the people here are like? I mean, we've been here a while now.
Gloomy.
Oh, the people are not gloomy.
No, you're actually, I don't have a good sense.
I think.
What do you think?
We've lived here for what, 6 years?
Yeah, and I don't talk to people, Kristen.
You talk to people every day at your practice.
Oh, that's true. I do. We gotta edit this out. I talk to people all the time.
What are you talking about?
I meant like. Okay, you're right.
I think that people out here, like culturally, it's a little more like there's this spirit of independence, right? Like, like you do your thing, I'll do my thing. I won't ask what you're doing. You don't ask what I'm doing. That's kind of that thing. But then, like, if you need something, they're not like rude. They're just kind of letting everybody do their own thing.
Well, hopefully we managed to piss off every region of the country. Certainly what we were going for.
I guess we pissed off the Southeast by ignoring it.
Sorry,
we left it out.
I've visited, but haven't. But let us know. We're happy to fill out the rest of the map, and the next few episodes. We'll let us know in the emails, comments, and things. So, all right. Anything else to say before we get to it?
No, I don't think Dr. Hilden deserves any more about this.
All right, here he is, Dr. David Hilden. Today's episode is brought to you by the Nuance Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX for short. This AI-powered ambient technology is helping you, physicians, be more efficient and reduce clinical documentation burdens that cause us to feel overwhelmed and burnt out. To learn more about how DAX can help reduce burnout and restore that joy of practicing medicine. Kristen, you got to have that joy. You got to have it. Stick around after the episode or visit nuance.com/discoverdax. That's nuance.com/discoverdax. All right, we have Dr. Hilden here. Can I call you David? Is that okay?
That'd be David? Great. Yep.
Or do you want to do more formal? I mean, you are.
David's good. You
are an internal medicine doctor. You're fancy. You're smart.
But you're
also dressed much nicer than me. Wearing
he's also a Minnesotan, so I feel like very friendly.
Is that what they're called? They're Minnesotan.
Minnesotan, yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're very First of all, that was a good O. That was a really good O. We got to get that straight right now. It's Minnesota.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
We go out in the boat, and you can call me David. David's good. Although internal medicine people are a bit nerdy, but we can keep it casual.
You are. I like your aesthetic. So people who are just listening, you got the coat on, you got you're dressing down a little bit, no tie, just an open collar, but you got the nice glasses. I'm a big fan. of a good pair of glasses. So I applaud you on your choice of frames there.
Well, I appreciate that coming from a guy who takes care of people's eyes, and I have really, really bad eyes. So these glasses, if I were to go on the side view, it's just like one of the
Yeah.
bottom of a Coke bottle. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, can you guess the prescription? This is his party trick.
Let's see. He's kind of looking at me a little bit dead on. Turn your head a little bit to the right. You don't have a real strong prescription, actually.
Well, in one eye, I do. This one I do.
Oh,
I've
okay.
got multifocals. I got the whole shooting match.
Yeah, you got it all.
He's stumping you.
But I think he's hyperopic. Are you farsighted? You look a little farsighted on that left eye, like a plus.
That could be.
Something.
My left eye is everything sighted. I think
Gotcha.
the eye's not shaped right. It's, I've got a refractory problem. I had a surgeon.
It's just all messed up.
I had a surgeon work on my 18-month-old lateral rectus muscle, and I know you can be impressed that I know what a lateral rectus muscle is.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I forgot about it in med school.
There's others. Do you know all the extraocular muscles? Are you familiar with how many are there? Do you know? Do you remember?
There's 6 of them.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Good.
Yeah. That's good. That's perfect.
And when I do patients, I make an H in front of it. Aren't you supposed to make an H in front of them and see if they all work?
That's really
extraocular movements.
That's better than most people. That's fantastic.
There you go.
But I've now told you the sum total of what I know. That's it.
Well, now I compliment you on your glasses. You're an internal medicine. Can you compliment me on, I guess, my liver function? Or is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say your liver looks really good. I can't see the lower edge of your liver.
Let's not tempt fate, shall we? His internal organs haven't really been kind.
And your A1C looks terrific. Both of your A1Cs look really good. I can see it from here.
Well, I want to. I guess if you weren't talking to us, would you be in on the wards right now? How much clinical medicine do you practice at this point?
So I'm about 20 or 30% only now, because I have an administrative job. So I'm the chair of the Department of Medicine now, somehow or the other.
My condolences.
Yeah, thank you, Kristen.
Yeah.
That's been like 6 months I've had that job, and so I have a couple hundred doctors I have to corral, but I see patients in the clinic here at a big county hospital in downtown Minneapolis, and then I am in the wards just 2 or 3 weeks a year. That's
now. How was that? Was it an agonizing decision to go the administrative route, or was that something you wanted to do? Was it, were you coerced?
How did this happen to you, and do you need help?
I don't know, and yes. No, I was for the last few years. I was in a hospital administrative job. We're this big hospital, but we're just a single hospital. We're the county hospital. We're like this big, huge, dysfunctional family. And I thought, well, I'll be on the administrative team. But that got to be meetings and meetings and meetings. And I swear to God, we would have meetings to plan the meetings, and it was agony. Oh, I shouldn't say that in case my bosses might be listening to this, but I loved that job.
Yeah.
No, but so now then I got back into it. I took a year-long breather where I just saw patients in primary care, and I just did A1Cs and heart failure and all that, and that's what I did. And then I do tend to talk a lot. I do tend to do a lot of public relations for the hospital. So now, as the chair of the department, it's much more of a people job and less meetings. So I've canceled all the meetings to plan the meetings, and it's much better now.
Don't forget the meetings to debrief about the meetings.
We have those too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's like this. Yeah. It's like this problem we have. It's pathologic. We have a meeting to plan the meeting, then we have the meeting, and then not the right people are at the meeting. So then you have a meeting to debrief the meeting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm a recovered academic, so I feel like this resonates with me.
I have no idea what either of you are talking about.
You don't have to do that.
I am private practice. We all equally loathe meetings. I feel like, and maybe in an academic setting, there's some people that maybe kind of like the meetings. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
That's a strong statement.
I don't know. I mean, I could tell by the look.
There's a look of disgust on his
David's face here.
Exactly. And then, he
does not agree with me.
No, not at all. I'm on the faculty of the medical school. And so then we have meetings to talk about promotions. And then we have, oh my goodness, it's ridiculous.
So how long have you been at this Hennepin Healthcare, which is the safety net hospital you mentioned?
Right. I've been here about 25 years, and we're It used to be called Hennepin County Medical Center. Before that, about 100 years ago, there was like a giant house in downtown Minneapolis, which is a dirt road, I assume, and it was the city hospital. That was like in
Mm.
1890 or something. That grew into the general hospital, which grew into this county hospital. And now we're down here on 8 city blocks in downtown Minneapolis. And we have 2 helicopter pads on the roof. It's this big sprawling campus, but deep down, we're
Wow.
just this county hospital, sort of staffed by a bunch of doctor martyrs down here who are caring for lots of vulnerable patients. And it's actually the best place to work. I absolutely love it.
Is it the only county hospital in Minnesota? I mean, is it? It's
Ye-
probably the largest, I have to assume.
right. Yeah. Yes and no. There are lots of little critical access hospitals, but we're
Yeah.
mostly a state of one big city,
Yeah.
Mayo Clinic a little ways south of us, and then a bunch of
Oh,
trees and
yeah.
lakes and deer.
I
That's
heard
all we have.
about that place.
Yeah, you've heard of them.
Yeah,
Maybe heard
you
of
know
them.
about that?
It's kind
Once
of
or twice, maybe. Rings a
yeah.
bell.
I've never been to Hennepin. I have been to Mayo, and I don't. I went to interview for residency there, and the one thing I really remember the most is just walking in, and it's just marble as far as the eye can see. I assume Hennepin's similar. Is
Yeah, we're
that?
just like that. We give
Yeah.
art tours as well. No, that's a funny thing though, because I actually love art as part of healing. And so
Yeah.
you go to
Right.
Mayo, and I love Mayo. I love Mayo.
Of
Nothing to be
course, we all do.
yeah, yeah. But they like literally have Picasso's and things like the originals.
It's incredible.
Oh,
It's
wow.
beautiful. Yeah, you can get an art tour and a history tour. You come to our hospital, we don't have that. We have like 2
Yeah.
dogs, a velvet dog thing, and they're drinking out of a hose. But we have hundreds of pieces of art here.
Not even a proper bowl.
No, exactly. It's like it's just one notch above dogs playing poker. And but we do when we built our new clinic building at 6 stories high, it's beautiful. It's this nice glass building. It's the only new building we've built in years. We have 4, 5, 600 pieces of artwork that people donated, and they're lovely. They're
Mm.
just not Picasso's, but they're done by employees and local people. So it's I really think the power of art in healing is something that even here at the county hospital that we need to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it that kind of just keeps you? I mean, I guess what fascinates you? I don't know what the word is, but what is it about the county hospital, the working there, being in that environment that is so appealing to you?
Yeah, that one I think about a lot because, and I do this to the people in my department. I go, "Why do you work here?" Hospital.
I was going to just say that.
Yeah,
but,
why do you work
I
here?
thought it.
That's something you can only say internally, right? Like you can't make fun of someone else's brother. Only that person can make fun of their
Exactly.
brother.
Yeah, that's right.
That
Mhm.
is exactly it because, I do literally say, and everybody knows this. I'm not telling them what they don't already know. The hospital down the street's paying a lot more than we are. They really are. And
Mm.
and they don't have some of the more challenges that we have. But our patients are generally lower income. Not all, but generally lower income. There's a lot of immigrant population, non-English speaking people. We see a ton of people who are experiencing homelessness. And I can look out the window and see some of our patients, unfortunately. But at the same time, our patients are kind and they're grateful and they're wise and they're
Mm.
forgiving of our frailties, and our healthcare systems. Frailties is maybe a nice way to put it.
Sure.
They're forgiving of that, and I have patients. I have a Muslim patient he goes, "I'll pray for you today." So I got a lot of people praying for me, which is probably a good thing. And we have people
That's got to be a perk that you probably sell to people coming in to get.
exactly. It's very mission driven, and
Yeah.
and frankly, it's a riot. I mean, it's fun to work here. It really is. There's never a
Yeah.
dull minute. Our patients do the weirdest things, and they're not for any fault of their own. We just have a cross section of humanity, and it's a
Yeah.
wonderful cross section of humanity. And they don't look like me. They're not Northern Europeans, Scandinavian, Minnesotans. They look like the world, and I love that. And so that's what
Yeah.
most of our people here are like. And I did my training here, all the way back to my training. So I've been here
Oh,
a long
really?
time. Yeah.
Wow. Is it you mentioned, other hospital systems being able to pay more, so I feel like all of us in healthcare, we're always thinking about like staffing issues. I'm sure you more than anybody else, in your role as an administrator. Have you found it hard to recruit people either physicians, nurses, support staff, whoever it is it more challenging in this environment?
To some degree, it is. First of all, if people aren't from Minnesota, I've even been told this by physician recruiters. It's really hard to get people to come here because all
To
they can.
Minnesota?
Yeah,
The
Well, it's quite cold
There's a
that's what
there.
bunch of
everybody
lakes
thinks.
there.
Yeah, it's
There's a bunch of
beautiful
lakes.
out. It's beautiful, but
It
it's
is
also.
beautiful.
They tell me it's hard to get people to leave. Then, it's
Oh,
hard
there
to
you
get people
go.
to come here, but then it's equally hard to get them to leave because they found out that, oh my God, we're in God's country here. This is where you want to be. Uh, but to come to the hospital. I come straight out. I hire a lot of people. I hire doctors all day long, and nurse practitioners and the whole shoot match. And I say I'm just blunt about it. If
Yeah.
maximizing your income is important to you, there's no judgment from me. I get it. You might have medical student loans. There might be lots and lots of reasons, but we do pay a competitive salary. So I just set it aside. I put that part aside. I go, here's why we might be the place you want to work. You get to teach students. You get to teach residents. You get to care for a broad swath of humanity that needs you. And that really does resonate with a lot of doctors. And many of them say, oh, it's
Yeah.
kind of why I went into medicine, and
Yeah.
that's
Right.
okay with me. Mhm.
Right. Yeah. I would imagine in a place like that, it's easier to see the difference that you can make in somebody's life. Like the difference that you are able to make in their life is maybe larger than for a population who's a little more, affluent or homogenous.
Yep. I think that's exactly right. You're 100% right. And we try. I always tell people, when I'm hiring them, I don't want to hear any excuses about why you couldn't provide good care. I don't want to hear that they didn't take their meds. Well, no, they sure didn't. And I don't want to hear, they were poor. They didn't speak English. Well, those are all true. Nonetheless, do your best and do everything you can. And I think you really can make a really big difference.
Yeah.
Now, who is it that you mentioned students? Is it University of Minnesota?
Yeah.
Like who all comes through Hennepin?
Yeah, yeah. So it's University of Minnesota. We're an affiliate hospital of the University of Minnesota, and so it's maybe several dozen of them here on any given day. I can see
Mhm.
the university from here. I'm gonna wave to them, but and then we have our own residency,
Oh,
and
gotcha.
that's what I did. So like when I did residency here, it was we didn't have work hours. It was 110-hour work weeks, and I'm not even kidding. We did walk uphill both ways to and from work, and
Doing Were you
it
doing
was
your own
snowy.
gram stains? You doing your own
I
gram stains?
We did our own gram stains with spinning our own urines down. Oh, yeah, we did all that. But it is true. I came into my first day as a trainee from the university, and, I come in on a Monday morning. It's 7 in the morning. I'm doing a surgery rotation. I'm terrified of that. I'm still terrified of scalpels and all that. And they said, "Okay, your shift ends tomorrow night at dinner time." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" It's like 7 in the morning on Monday, and I called my wife, and I said, "I'm coming home tomorrow night." And she said, 36
What?
hours from now night? And that's what training was, and that was it. I didn't have a toothbrush. I had to steal one from one of the patient, rooms. So that was our training here, and then I just never left. And so we have students, we have residents, and then I just stayed on the faculty.
You're a lifer.
I am a lifer. That's kind of darky, isn't it?
Well, I wanna talk with you about radio
Yeah,
because you have some experience here that I think probably a lot of people don't have, and which I think is fascinating. You are the radio doc, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell us your background in radio, how that started. I'm fascinated by this.
Yeah, so I was minding my own business as a primary care doctor,
Of course.
stamping
All
out
the best stories start that way.
yeah, minding my own business once upon a time, stamping out diabetes wherever I could find it. I'm doing that. And so the hospital put out an all points bulletin. We're going to do this radio show. It's on AM talk radio. Who wants to
Cool.
do that? And I have two friends. They're still my friends. They go, well, you never shut up. You should audition. And I don't shut up very well. I'm working on it. I'm working on my listening skills. So I go down there and I did some made up thing about colonoscopies at the radio station, and I got this job. And it's on what's WCCO radio, which is in the upper Midwest, kind of a big deal. WCCO is the precursor of General Mills, who makes Cheerios.
Hmm.
That's here. And so they had a radio station 100 years ago. It's this giant radio station that everybody listened to. I listened to it, growing up. If your
Mhm.
school's closed, it's on WCCO. So I go on this radio station and I talk to people every Sunday morning live about their medical problems, and they'd call in with everything. And it was an older audience as you maybe could expect, because who listens to AM radio on a Sunday morning?
Mhm.
So I went over there and I did that show, my first show in January 2009. And it's
Oh,
unscripted. It was an hour long of live radio, and people would call in. I would just answer their questions, and it went for 13 years, and I did
wow.
Wow.
That's so cool.
676 shows
That's
every Sunday
incredible.
morning live. And, it was really fun. I'd get farmers calling in. Like, they'd call in. One guy called in a lot, and I can't remember his name, or I wouldn't use it even if I could. He would say, "Well, it's 7 in the morning, 7 in the morning. I've been up for a few hours, and, I'm having a little chest pain, but I had to feed the cattle." And, so this guy's out there. I just imagine this old guy. He's,
Oh
like, in his
man.
80s. He feeds the cattle, but then he has some medical question, but he had to feed the cattle first, and he would call me to get advice. So I really got a conversation with good folks in the upper Midwest. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds I could have used that to
They
do
need like a
research for my
farmer
videos.
hotline, right? Because they don't want to leave because the cattle need fed or the crops
Gotta
need to
build
come
a
in or whatever
fence.
needs to be happening. So if they had a hotline to call, maybe you
Mhm.
could direct them in the right way.
That's and so you just recently stopped then. You said
Mhm.
went for 13 years. So
It
what
did go for 13 years, and,
did you fix our did you answer all the
yeah, there was no other
questions?
problems. There was no other problems. It's funny you bring up Duluth, though. You brought up Duluth. Duluth is gonna be the one climate change safe city, so you're gonna love Duluth in about 50
Kristen
Yeah,
years.
I'm into that.
Kristen's amateur doomsday prepper
Are you?
Well,
because
no,
there
I
are
wouldn't say
professional
that.
doomsday preppers, but she's not quite that bad.
I'm not. Yeah.
But
I
she
like to
knows
think
the
of
places.
myself as a rational, future-oriented
I
thinker.
think that's exactly what you are. You're just thinking
Thank
ahead
you.
and planning for what's gonna happen. Well, Duluth,
That's
it's got
right.
it all. It's gonna be like the climate of Kansas City, and it's gonna be, not that any
Perfect.
of this is good, don't get me wrong. None of this is good, but they've got a big lake there. There's gonna be
Yeah.
beaches, it's gonna be Duluth. And one time on the radio show,
Hmm.
I was new in the radio show, and some woman calls in and says, "I have this sound in my ear. Sounds like a," and she's describing tinnitus. "I've got this thing. It sounds like a foghorn in my ear." And I was new at this thing. It's live radio. I didn't know what the heck to say. So what came out of my mouth is, "Well, you don't live in Duluth, do you?" And because Duluth has ocean-going ships, and I was just trying to say, "Well, maybe you're actually hearing a foghorn." And so, maybe you don't have tinnitus. Maybe you're just living in Duluth. But I was just tap dancing on live radio because
Yeah.
I
That's
didn't know what she
awesome.
was talking about. But that I stopped it. You asked why I stopped it. Well, 13 years at 7 in the morning.
Mhm.
And although we had a pretty decent audience, you can imagine what the audience for AM talk radio is. It's
You're right.
it's not exactly growing. And as much as I
Sure.
loved the listeners, it was probably the
Yeah.
same listeners each week. And we decided to try different things. So now I have a podcast. It's called Healthy Matters. And it is mostly for the lay public, similar to the radio show, but it's produced now. And so I can't have live call ins. I do miss the live call in part, but we try to
Yeah.
give trusted medical information to the community via the podcast. And all of this has led to all other kinds of media stuff where I go on the news locally just to give,
Yeah.
sort of in the
And
age of misinformation, give a little good information.
Yeah, that is so desperately needed. So I'm glad you're doing that.
and it all started just because you said, "Yeah, I'll try
I'll
this.
try it.
Sure.
Sure.
I'll
Go
try it."
talking to a microphone.
You just say yes to some opportunities and you never know you could end up on AM radio. You
You
never
could, you
That's
could,
right.
and it's really ballooned. Just from that. I remember so the Super Bowl came to Minneapolis, I don't know, a few years ago, 2018. It was pre-pandemic. So flu was what everybody cared about was flu. There was no such thing as COVID. No one had heard of it. Everybody was deathly afraid of flu. And so I was on national news, standing outside the stadium, which I can see also from my office here where the Vikings play and where the Super Bowl was. And I had ABC World News Tonight, talking to me. "Do you think it's a good idea that all these people are coming together because they could get flu?" I'm like, so the radio show has led to some funny things like that. Like I'm literally I talked so much to so many people about flu, and then obviously it switched to COVID, but it has resulted in things that I never ever ever dreamed I'd be doing.
You mentioned you tried out for this. Who did you beat out for this job as an AM radio host?
So I'm not sure, but I understand there was a psychiatrist and a
Oh,
Mm.
gastroenterologist who tried out for it, and I'm not sure you can make a decade's worth of stuff out of the GI tract, though.
Yeah.
That'd
And so
be
I think
pretty
maybe that
tough.
guy could have been the best one in the whole wide world, but I got it because he's gonna talk about your intestines. You know, how much can you go
Right.
with that? I mean,
I
that's
think it was
Yeah.
smart to go with someone with a little bit more broad,
Yes.
spectrum of expertise. Like, what if I had gone for that? Like, I would have been a terrible choice for that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how often can I can kind of I can talk for maybe a couple hours,
Could you
about
like one woman calls in and she says something like, I swear to God, she was having a stroke. I know she was having a stroke. So I have this little old lady call in and she said, well, I woke up this morning and I can't talk very well and my arm's weak and all this stuff. And and,
oh my
and I said,
God.
oh, honey, you need to not call the radio and you need to be calling 911. And so
Oh,
we
no.
did. We called 911. But I'm
Oh
not
my
sure,
goodness.
I know that ophthalmologists are smart. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure
That's
that
true.
the whole breadth of medical topics.
I would have fumbled the tinnitus question for sure. Like,
Oh, it's in the
that's
neighborhood. Your ears,
it's
eyes, it's all
close,
the
but
same.
Yeah.
don't give me too much credit here. I could handle the stuff though. I can recognize if someone's having a stroke.
Yeah.
Kristen could
If
have
it's
handled the stroke thing
I
better
could
than
I
you
was
could
Oh
have.
yeah.
I was thinking that, but not saying like even I know those are stroke signs.
Slurring your speech. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, no, but Kristen, in general, I think you could handle that show better, and all due respect, better than the
Better than
ophthalmologist.
yeah,
yeah, pretty
probably
good.
so. That's
And
true.
so did people whenever they came in to see you as a patient, like did you ever get recognized for your voice?
Oh, all the
Has that
time.
happened?
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
still happens to this day. I'll have, well, during the pandemic, I had many of my colleagues say, I had this patient who just simply said, I'm gonna get this COVID shot because you told him to on the radio. So that happens all the time, all the time, all the
Uh-huh.
time. But many times, I'll have another colleague saying, "Can you come down to this inpatient room because Mildred is here, and she's a big fan, and she listens to you, and she visited you at the live show at the state fair, and she would love to have it." And I'm thinking, oh, you're gonna be so disappointed when I show up. It's just some guy showing up. I'm like, "Nothing, I'm not bringing 8 by 10 glossies," you know, to si to sign him just like this local county doctor that but she listens every week.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back with Dr. Hilden. Hey, Kristen.
Yeah.
Do I look like a cardiologist when I hold this?
You look like you're trying to be a cardiologist.
Oh, because I'm an ophthalmologist.
Well, and just like what are you even doing with your hands there?
I do. I feel like a cardiologist. though,
Yeah.
and that's the most important thing because of the stethoscope.
Yeah.
This
It
is so
the
cool.
tool of the trade.
It's an Echo Core 500 digital stethoscope with 3-lead ECG. It even makes an ophthalmologist feel like a cardiologist.
That's saying something.
right. And it's got 40 times noise amplification,
Mhm.
noise cancellation,
Right.
3 audio filter modes, and a full color display.
Yeah, it's bananas.
What stethoscope has all of that?
I know. We live in
Nothing-
the future.
No, just the Echo Core 500.
That's right.
That's it. And you can also record, review, save, share,
Yeah.
and all the things you're listening to.
That's right.
It's great for teaching. It's great for just learning yourself. And also, we have a special offer for our U.S. listeners. Visit echohealth.com/KKH and use code KNOCK50 to experience Echo's Core 500 digital stethoscope technology. That's EKOHealth/KKH and use KNOCK50 to get a 75-day risk-free trial and a free case and free shipping with this exclusive offer. Hey, Kristen, do you mind if this little guy stares at you while you talk?
Well, they're kind of growing on me. I mean, hopefully not literally, but these cute little guys.
You know what they are, right?
Yeah,
Demodex mites.
that's right.
They cause itchy, red, scaly skin on the eyelids because they
Yeah.
live on the eyelash follicles.
Yep, just eating up all your dirts and oils.
That's why it's important to get your eyelids checked out if you have those types of symptoms. Don't freak out, get checked out. To find out more, go to eyelidcheck.com. That's EYELID check.com to get more information about Demodex blepharitis. All right, we are back with Dr. David Hilden and Minnesotan extraordinaire.
No.
Minnesotan.
Oh, that was better.
Minnesotan.
It
Minnesotan.
needs some work, wouldn't you
Do you
say?
pronounce the T? Do you
Yeah.
like enunciate the T's? So
No, it's softer.
it's soft.
Soft.
It's soft T.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
There you go.
All right. Anyway, So what I'd like to do with you is do a little activity, a little game that I actually don't have a really good name for this. We're just going to rank organs. Because one of the things I find so interesting about internal medicine doctors, actually, I will say impressive, is that you know so much about all these things that you can't see. You see, like I can look at the eyeballs, I can actually see exactly what I'm
Only the
treating.
front, though.
No, I can I can see
Oh, yeah,
everything.
you have the torture devices.
Yeah, we can anything we diagnose for the most part, unless you're like a neuro-ophthalmologist, but they're like unicorns in ophthalmology. Uh, I can see everything that I'm diagnosing and treating, unlike you who can't. And there's so many things inside the body, and so it seems really hard what you do. I guess is what I'm saying. Like, why did you choose such a hard job?
Yeah, I appreciate that because it allows us to sit around, drink coffee, and eat donuts and talk about stuff. 'Cause
That's
You
the
love
real
doing that,
reason.
right?
Got your
we can
egg
make rounds go
coffee
all
and
day
journal
long and
club.
drink coffee and talk about what we can't see. Well, the differential is really long on that, Will.
Let's go through it.
Okay.
All right. So what I thought we could do, I wrote down 10 different internal organs.
I'm right
Okay.
here.
Now these are all things that I don't have a lot of knowledge about, just what I remember from med school. But since we're talking with a bona fide internal medicine doctor here, I thought we could do something that this is actually a variation of a game that's done on TikTok, believe it or not. So you are going to rank these. We're going to draw them randomly, and you have to slot them 1 to 10. All right. Not knowing what's going to come up next or what's going to come up later.
Oh, okay. Do I get
Okay.
CME credits for this? That's what I
Yes,
want
you
to know.
do. This is definitely, you get all your CME. You can just whatever. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm ready to go. Is it
And
going to be like the optic nerve, the lateral
no,
rectus
no, no, no,
muscle?
no. These are all, I didn't cheat. These are all things that are inside the body that you can't see.
Okay, I'm
What would
getting
be
nervous.
considered internal organs. Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
And you say, and the criteria is whatever you want it to be. It's your personal ranking. Just define that however you want.
Got it.
All right. This is
Got
very
it.
scientific.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
One being your favorite, the best, 10 being the worst. All right, here we go. And Kristen's going to draw these randomly.
Ooh. So
Let's go.
that's a heck of a one to start on. The heart.
Oh, number 1.
Ooh. All right.
Do I have to tell you why, or is it
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
And I can't change my answers later.
You cannot change your
Correct.
answers. No.
And Will's writing them down, so you're not going to
Yeah.
forget.
I'm
I
keeping
think
track.
heart is number 1, and because I kind of wanted to be a cardiologist.
Oh, did you?
Oh.
Yes, it's so cool. It's first of all a chemical reaction that leads to an electrical current, which leads to a mechanical pump. It's like the full package of engineering dorkiness.
That is true. I have never heard it presented that way.
That's what it is. It's
pretty
very
good.
cool. Very cool.
Number
1.
I'm almost buying that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got one out of the way. Let's go. What's
All
next?
right. Just a single lung. He didn't say lungs.
Well, a single.
It just says lung.
I'm gonna go with number 4.
Oh, okay. All right.
A single lung is number 4. Yeah.
All right. Number 4 is lung. I do, just for the record, I do know that there are 2 lungs. I don't know why I just wrote lung, but lung is what I wrote.
Is there another sheet in there, Chris? Is there another sheet in there that says
so.
the other lung?
No, I think it was just a Freudian slip.
I just wrote down one lung. Just whichever lung is your favorite. If you had to choose a right or a left lung to hold on to,
it's got to be the right one because it has 3 lobes and the left lung only has 2, and so it's the better lung. And I've actually held a lung and they're kind of gruesome, so I don't think that's why it's only number 4. I know it's important, but it's
gotcha.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how important. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's whatever your
exactly.
criteria
Your
are.
subjective opinion.
All right.
That's right.
Okay.
Omentum.
You did study something in med school. So omentum, I'm going to have to go with like number 8.
All right.
You're going to have to tell our non-medical listeners
Yeah.
what is an
it's in
omentum.
it's part of your guts. It's it slides around in there, kind of holds all the guts together, and it's kind of at a high
like
ew
sausage
factor.
casing.
Oh yes. That's kind of what.
It's something you might find at the Minnesota State Fair.
Exactly. You can probably eat that if you deep fry it.
Oh yeah. Also put some eggs in there. Perfect.
Oh my. Yes, the omentum. Isn't it like a fat curtain? That's what
It
I
is. It
always
is.
remembered
It is
like
like a fat curtain in there. Your surgeon has to cut through it when they're operating in you, and
yeah,
it kind of holds things together. It's
Yeah.
connective tissue, sort of your gut.
but also seems extraneous
It
to a
really
certain
does. It
extent.
really does.
You know,
What if you didn't have it? Would you have a problem?
good question.
I don't. I think things would slosh around in there a little bit, and if you
Oh
don't,
yeah.
if you,
It
if
provides a little firmness that might be helpful.
it does,
That's right.
It kind of holds your bits together in there.
Hey, don't look at me like that. You're the one that put it in there.
I did.
I can't believe you put that in there.
Okay, and again, a single kidney.
Oh, kidney.
I say kidneys are very cool. So kidneys are very cool. So I'm gonna have to go with number 2.
Okay.
Ooh,
2 on
high
the
opinion of
kidneys.
the
It's
kidney.
another internal medicine dorky thing, but kidneys do like 10 things. And most of
Yes.
us think they just make urine, but they do like 10 other
That's what I
things.
thought.
So no, they're very cool. And yeah, that's number 2.
So cardio, the heart takes
Number 1 and kidneys are number 2. And you'll find in internal medicine people, you'll get a cardiologist recommending one thing for the health of the heart, and it's always exactly the opposite of what the nephrologist is recommending for the kidneys. That's why we often say things like, well, it's why the good Lord gave you 2 hands. One of them is to get more fluid in the body because that's what the kidney doctor wants, and the other is to take more fluid off the body because that's what the heart doctor wants.
That's yours. Isn't it the cardiologist and the
Yeah,
nephrologist that are at war in your
nephrologists,
skits?
always going at it with each
With
other.
the salt.
That's right.
They never agree.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
like, good grief, I have to pick which one of you I like better and take your advice and hope it's the right thing.
You're like the child
That's right.
caught in the middle of
You are.
divorcing parents.
You are, which I'm sure is great comfort to people listening to the show.
That's right. Exactly. All right.
Okay.
Next one.
Gallbladder.
Oh, gallbladder's got to be like number 9.
9. Okay.
All my
Who needs a gallbladder?
gastroenterologist friends are going to hate me because you can
Gallbladder.
live without the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, it's kind of cool. It makes these stones.
Yeah,
Have you
I
ever-
don't. What does it?
It does
do?
make these stones. And have you ever seen the stones?
I mean, I've seen like not in person, but I've seen like pictures of them.
Oh, they got jars of them down in the GI lab. Like
That's great, Dr. Hilden.
Yeah.
That's
They do.
fantastic.
They do. They've got, it looks like stones you'd go collecting on the seashore or something. They're these beautiful, colorful stones of various shapes and sizes.
Oh,
Look at that. Like a pearl, but much grosser.
yeah.
Very much so.
More
If you didn't know what they were,
problematic.
you'd think they're beautiful.
All right. So gallbladder's 9.
Okay.
What else we got?
Ooh. Spleen.
So here's the deal. Nobody knows what the spleen does. I
See?
mean, like
That's what I'm saying.
Yep. there you
nobody
go.
really
Absolutely.
knows what the spleen does. So this is a number 10 right here. Number 10.
Thank
Have I given
you.
you a 10?
No, you haven't.
Not
No,
yet.
we got 8, 9, 10. Omentum, gallbladder, spleen.
Spleen.
You're gonna
know-
piss off some hematologists
Oh my
here.
God. Well, yeah, seriously. But no, you can do without it as well. Although I'm sure it has a
Yeah.
very important
Yeah.
job in your immune system and red cells and all that stuff. But it is the often neglected organ, even in internal medicine.
Oh, poor spleen.
The poor spleen, I don't know what it does anyway. So
But then the spleen's also weird because you can get like little, they're called splenules.
Hmm.
Have you heard
Yeah.
about that?
I've heard that word before.
Yeah, it's like little baby spleens that
they're
go.
growing in. Yeah, they can. It's a yeah. You
Like
can have all that.
offshoots or like
I don't know.
inside itself.
It's just I don't know. They're just there. Just like little spleens everywhere. It's kind of gross.
They grow in the eyeball, I think.
You know what? I don't know.
Eyeball.
That scares me though. To think that it might.
If you have a splenule in your vitreous,
Ugh.
Mm.
Nope, we don't
I
want
don't
that.
think they grow there. I don't
We
think
don't
they
want
do
that.
Okay.
though.
Oh, I'm not sure how to pronounce this one, but I'm going to give it a shot. Cecum.
Oh, your cecum.
Oh, did I get it right?
You did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah. I do have to ask you about the GI tract situation.
Yes, I think it's overrepresented in this
The
game.
GI tract is
Well, how many internal
overrepresented.
organs are there? I mean, come on. It's like half of it's your GI tract.
A lot of it. Well, now we're down to subunits of your GI tract. I mean, your cecum's the most proximal part of your large intestine or your colon. So it's right where your small intestine hits your your large intestine
and
is where
there's
your
a
appendix hangs off of there.
Yeah.
there's a valve.
Yeah.
There is the ileocecal valve.
Yeah,
You
I
got it.
remember that because he asked our 2-year-old to say that once.
Ileocecal valve.
Yeah,
you
Boy,
know.
you're this. I like the vocabulary you're going with the
Absolutely.
2-year-old. Okay, honey, say
And
ileocecal
she
now.
did. She was
did.
like
She nailed it.
freakishly good at language, and so he gave her that as like a
See if
you
she can
know
do it.
stretch one. But yeah, she did it.
Well, I don't even know where I should put this. I don't even know what numbers I have left.
You got 3, 5, 6, and 7.
I'm going 6 because
Okay.
I'm hoping to have the gastroenterologist buy me around at happy hour or
There
something.
you go. All right.
Well, stomach.
I think we need to talk about the intestinal tract with a certain ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, stomach, we're going 7. Not quite as high
Okay.
as the cecum.
All right.
Because it's a disgusting situation.
It's just gross.
But you do need one.
You do need
Yeah.
one. That's true.
You do
But
need
yeah,
one, but it's just a churning point for disgustingness.
Yeah.
Seems like it causes a lot of problems. You got your
Yeah.
reflux issues and ulcers.
Yeah.
It does. All that
Yeah.
stuff. All this. Although when you look
Troublesome.
inside of it, it's quite pretty on when it doesn't have food. It's just beautiful kind of pinkish thing when it's a healthy looking one. So it's quite nice.
There you go.
I've
look
never
at.
considered what the inside of a stomach might look like.
It is cool to
Oh.
watch like an upper endoscopy, and you go and you see all the things inside of it.
The
It's like
food
when I was trying to
bits.
watch my.
Well, no, not by that point. Usually, it's all cleared out. But
Oh, sure.
No, yeah. We make people clear it out, and then it's as beautiful as the day we're born. This inside of this thing, and it looks lovely. And Katie Couric watched her own colonoscopy on the
Yes.
Today Show once, and so I tried to do that.
Oh.
And I, of course, I'm in my own facility, and so I know the nurse, I know the doctor about
That's
to
a
do
little bit
the
awkward.
thing, and I said, I'm gonna watch this thing. I'm gonna watch this thing. And so they
How'd it
say,
go?
okay, count backwards from 100. Because we're gonna give you some anesthesia or some sedatives. I didn't even get to like 97. I was asleep for the whole thing, so I didn't.
They're like,
You did-
okay,
you
sure
didn't
you'll,
get to-
Yeah,
sure you
Hopefully,
are.
they recorded it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're escaping GI tract.
We got 2 more.
Yes,
You got 3 and 5
we're
I think
escaping.
I'm getting them right.
Actually, you're doing quite well.
It's
to
the
be honest.
definitive list.
You
He's getting them right. It's
This
his
is-
own opinion.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, the liver.
Number 3.
Hmm.
Number 3. So we
That
got
was
heart,
said with
kidney.
confidence.
Oh yeah, with confidence. That's the other thing, because the liver, the whole Prometheus story and all that. Prometheus and his liver regenerated, and it was eaten by birds and all that. And the liver can kind of regrow, and it does also about 6 or 7 things. And so anything that does like multiple duties like that,
Sure, when the spleen can regrow, no one likes it.
No one
but
cares
when
about
the
the spleen.
No one
liver
cares
does it.
about that.
Poor
No, but
Did you know the liver could regrow? Did you know that?
No, I don't think I did.
yeah,
cool.
it can. I mean, it's not like you're supposed, but that's what happened to in mythology. Prometheus
Yeah.
steals fire from Zeus, and his liver, he gets a lifetime of his liver. But it is an actual true thing that your liver can be partially transplanted, and the cells can regrow, unlike your heart and your kidney. When they're done,
Right.
your liver can do that, and it does so many things. And I think a little bit of it's my own practice here. I see a ton of liver disease, and so I see what happens when your liver doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the record saying we should have 2 livers instead of a spleen.
We should have 2 livers, and there's space over there on the left side of the body. The liver's over on your right side. They could.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
think
There
you're
you
right.
go.
You're
All
right.
What is it? The liver the only one that can do that?
That can
Kind of.
regenerate.
Yeah, it can actually grow back pretty well. I'm trying to think of. Well, your intestinal walls can. Here's anything that can get cancer. Basically, are things that can regrow because their cells are growing. You don't hear about heart cancer very much, do you?
Mhm.
Because the cells aren't really growing that much. But you hear about liver
Right.
cancer, intestinal cancer, colon cancer. So the intestines
sense.
can.
Interesting.
There you go.
All right. Last one.
This is a doozy.
Pancreas.
Oh, pancreas.
So that's
what number do I got left?
Slot it into to 5 for you.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty good since we have like 5 things in the GI tract and the pancreas is too. I think it comes in top among the GI tract organs.
All right, perfect.
All right, so here's your list: heart, kidney, liver, lung, singular, pancreas, cecum, stomach, omentum, gallbladder, spleen.
Yeah,
there
I think
you
it's
go.
a
There
good
you have
list.
it. That's
he
a good
stands by it.
The definitive rankings here.
I know. And I'm going to have to, with apologies to all my gastroenterology colleagues, including the 8 of them who work for me,
Oh, ask them. I bet they don't even care about the omentum themselves. Come on. Like,
they don't.
Let's be honest.
They don't care about the omentum. So have you taught your kids about the omentum yet?
I don't think I have.
I don't think we've done that one.
It's high on my list of parenting things to do.
We'll talk about it tonight at dinner.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
if they can slip it into a sentence, that would be really good. I can't even slip it into a sentence, and you ask me about it. But if you can get your kid to, they're
this
well on their way.
Really looks like omentum, Dad.
Yes,
right. Exactly.
Yes, they're well on their way to a fulfilling life if they can do that at age 2.
Oh man, well, we should probably wrap things up.
All right.
Although I do want to hear more stories from Minnesota at some point, so we'll have to have you come back sometime. David.
Great hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
And you should if you come to Minnesota, I'll show you around. You need to ice fish.
We're gonna have to go ice fishing.
Okay.
I think.
All right, fine. Maybe I will come to Duluth in February.
Yeah,
Bucket
I bet that's the
thing.
best ice fishing in the world.
What are we catching when we go ice fishing?
Walleye.
Oh, walleye. It's the state fish of Minnesota.
Okay.
Come on now.
All right. Jeez.
Oh.
How do you
It's
know
good
so
eating.
much
You
about
lightly bread it. You fry it up. It's really good. Yeah.
Well, so the podcast is Healthy
Matters.
And
Healthy
you can
Matters
find it at
podcast.
healthymatters.org or the proverbial wherever you get your podcasts.
That's
There
right.
we go.
Healthy Matters. Check it out. Well, I've been on. We did that together, right? Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, we were on Healthy Matters.
That's
That was when we first met.
Loads of people have listened to the two of you, and I appreciate you being on the Healthy Matters podcast and for having me on here.
That was a great time. And also, you're on Twitter or X.
I am Dr. David Hilden. Yeah, I think it's called X.
Dr. David Hilden. Anything else you want to promote? Just Hennepin County Hospital.
Yeah, if you're ever in Minnesota, I would like to tell people, look out for your county hospitals. We have a hashtag around here that we just all kind of know. With a wink, hashtag county. You've got loads of people, not just in this city, but in every city across the country who are doing really wonderful work for people who deserve the best care that this country can offer. And people are doing great healthcare everywhere, but just a big shout out to those who are doing it at a safety net hospital.
Absolutely.
That's right.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, David. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you both. Thanks.
All right, we'll see you next time. Okay, let's take a look at a medical story that was sent in by one of our listeners. Today we have a story from Anne. The title is "Possums and Eyeballs Should Not Mix." That's really, I mean,
that's all you gotta put to get us to click on that.
You want to catch my attention, all right? Throw in some eyeballs and a wild animal. Absolutely. Okay. A couple months after getting Lasik surgery in the 90s, which is like early days of Lasik. So this is like, pretty early on. Anne says, I still have a vivid memory of the smell of burning eyeballs, but I digress.
Oh no, is that a thing?
You know what? Not
or maybe
as
it was
much
then.
now.
Yeah.
There is what's called ablation of the eye tissue.
Where you basically like solder it.
Sure. Come get your eyeballs soldered. $2,000 an eye. My husband and I were getting ready to go out to a movie. It was Saturday night around 8 p.m. I was a wildlife carer and had just finished feeding a baby possum. At this age, possums are called back riders because they love riding around on mom's back. The closest experience they can get to back riding while in care is to ride around on their human's head. This, however, is not encouraged, as having their needle-like claws in close proximity to your face is fraught with danger, as you can imagine.
Sure.
I suspect you can see where this story is going. I was careful not to let the little guy climb onto my head, but the instinct was hard to suppress. Anyway, I was having trouble getting him back in the cage on this night. He was nocturnal. He was happy and he wanted company. I almost got the door closed on his cage when he leapt off the cage for my head. He made it across and grappled me for purchase.
Oh, no.
But one of his claws hooked straight onto my eyeball and tore away the corneal flap from the Lasik. Not great.
Just undid her Lasik.
Not great. Well, didn't undo it, but let's see where the story goes. I managed to extricate him from my head, checked that he didn't have the flap still hanging from his claw. It's hard to do. Those things are small. And place him back into the cage without further incident. Then I headed to the emergency room at a nearby hospital in quite a bit of discomfort. That's a massive understatement. So. I enjoyed self-serve laughing gas for an hour or so while we waited for the... It's not a bad idea, actually.
Self-serve.
I haven't even thought about that. You have to get some nitrous in there because some people are very anxious.
You may as well get something out of it.
Some people are very anxious about their eyeballs.
Yeah.
For a while we waited for the on-call ophthalmologist to arrive from her dinner party in formal wear. Does sound like an ophthalmologist.
That sounds like she's
well, because when an on-call ophthalmologist, like
you don't expect to go in.
We don't ever expect to go in.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure that ophthalmologist got a call. Like, hey,
got a possum.
This patient just had LASIK, and there was a possum accident.
Say no more.
Say no more. Okay, we apologized for wrecking her night. First of all, you don't have to apologize. All right,
I think the possum wrecked your night.
Make the possum apologize.
Yeah.
Okay. Turns out the corneal flap was still attached by its hinge, which does make sense, but had flipped over. So the underside was rubbing up against my eyelid and was otherwise undamaged. Very lucky. So she flipped it back into the correct position, doused it with eye drops, applied a patch, and admitted me overnight for observation. My vision was a bit cloudy as dust and other muck had been caught under the flap, but I otherwise recovered well. A few weeks later, the surgeon was able to lift the flap, ablate the area clean with the LASIK laser, reinforcing my distaste for the smell of burning eyeball, and reattach it. My vision improved slightly as the first LASIK correction hadn't been quite perfect. Oh, great.
Silver lining.
The surgeon had a cool story to present at his next conference, so it was a win-win. And the possum grew big and fat and was eventually released.
A happy ending all around.
Yeah, so those LASIK flaps, so it is a flap. So you basically you cut a flap that has a hinge, so you can lift up. What you do is you cut the flap, you lift it up over it, kind of like
this makes me nauseous.
Kind of like a waffle iron.
It's a flap of the eyeball.
You know how a waffle iron has a hinge, like you open it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then you use the laser to remove tissue from the cornea, changing the shape of it, allowing you to see better. And then you replace the flap.
What you just described is horrifying.
Okay, no, it's not that bad.
This is torture.
So, it's fine.
You turn someone's eyeball into a waffle iron, you burn it a little.
Sure.
And you glue it back down.
Okay, but they see 20/20 the next day. All right. So it's fine. And you don't glue it. You just put it back and it heals. But that's what can happen whenever with anything, any kind of trauma, possum claw or otherwise, is it can like lift up the flap again. And you don't want that. So that was what happened, fortunately.
Maybe you should have glued it down.
Well, sometimes you do. In fact, that second time, I wouldn't surprise me if they did put a couple sutures in there. Because if you have a traumatic flap dislocation, sometimes it's better to just suture it and keep it down, but maybe not. Anyway, that's LASIK flaps. I didn't expect us to be talking about that, but
neither did I.
That's a great story. Thank you, Anne, and good work with the possum.
I mean, I'm impressed.
Surviving or
with her eye,
raising the possum and
just cut open, that she was able to just put the possum back.
Yeah, seriously, it's like, oh man, this is
you little
unfortunate.
Stinker.
If you have any stories, let us know. Any possum related or not. knocknockhi@human-content.com.
Now we're going to get a bunch of possum interacts with leech stories.
Probably. Always good to talk with Dr. Hilden.
Yes, he's a fun guy. I wish I had as much energy as he does.
Minnesota to the core.
Oh, yes.
great.
Yeah.
I want to hear more Minnesota State Fair stories.
I bet he's got a ton.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet the did we ever go to the Iowa Fair?
I did. Yeah,
I don't think I ever made
work.
it.
I had to work at a booth.
Did
for
you
my organization?
Did you eat some of the things?
I mean,
Turkey
I
legs,
must have,
funnel
but I don't
cakes?
remember.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun?
Well, I was working.
Oh,
I don't know. I didn't get to
yeah.
go for funsies.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah. But yeah, it was quite the sight to see. There's a lot of people there.
Does Oregon have a state fair?
Yeah. I don't think it's anywhere near as big.
You cannot compete with Midwestern state fairs.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas is fine too, but man.
But per capita,
They get into
Texas
it.
is 3 times the size of Minnesota. So if Minnesota's right there behind
That's
it.
impressive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let us give us some state fair stories. How about that? Lots of ways to hit us up. knockknockhi@human-content.com. We're on all the social media platforms. You can hang out with us and our Human Content Podcast family on Instagram and TikTok at Human Content Pods. I am focused on this outro right now. I am killing it already.
You're talking about family like they're just
yes.
dysfunctional Christmas or something.
We love our family. That's great. We got several families. And thank you to all the wonderful listeners leaving feedback and reviews. We love to see those nice reviews. If you subscribe and comment on your favorite podcasting app or on YouTube and give you a shout out, like Delaney H on Apple said, absolutely spectacular. The balance of humor with medical topics is so well done. And Dr. and Lady G do such a good job making content that is accessible to all ages, trainings, and backgrounds. That's what we're trying to do. I do not have enough good things to say and will definitely be a listener for as long as they continue to make episodes. I look forward to listening every time an episode comes out and appreciate the work they do bringing medical outreach topics to patients and healthcare workers across the world. That is so kind. Thank you, Delaney H. I appreciate that. And I'm just glad people aren't tired of me talking about eyeballs yet. So, Well,
some of them are.
Sometimes I feel like I overdo it a bit. Maybe not.
Are you looking at me to
verify?
Contradict that?
Full video episodes of this podcast are up every week on my YouTube channel at Glaucomfleckens. We also have a Patreon, our other family. We got our real families.
Mm-hmm.
We got our extended families.
Uh-huh.
We got our podcast family.
Okay.
And we have our Patreon family. What other families do we have?
I was going to ask you that. You're on a roll.
Yeah, I know. Lots of families.
We got a Possum family.
Those are out there. Sure. Our Patreon has lots of cool perks, bonus episodes where we react to medical shows and movies. You can hang out with us and other members of the Knock Knock High community. Early ad-free episode access, interactive Q&A live stream events, much more. Patreon.com/Glaucomfleckens or go to our website, Glaucomfleckens.com.
I know what other family we have.
What?
Work family.
But it's us.
I know.
We are family.
That's why it's pun adjacent.
Oh, gotcha. All right. I'm so glad you brought that back. Speaking of Patreon community perks, new member shout out to Mohammed K. Welcome, Mohammed. Shout out to all the Jonathans, as always.
Deep breath.
Patrick, Lucia C, Sharon S, Omar, Edward K, Stephen G, Jonathan F, Marion W, Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C, Brianna L, Dr. J, Ross Box, Chaver W, Leah D, K L, Rachel L, Ann P, Keith G, JJ H, Abby H, Derek N, Jonathan A, Mark, Mary H, Susanna F, Mohammed K, and Pink Macho. Woo!
Did you do that all in one breath?
I did.
You were turning a little red there at the end. I'd like for us to get...
I was getting low on air.
I know. I'd like for us to get enough Jonathans that you pass out.
Oh, we don't want that. I've done enough of that in my life.
Okay, we'll at least have to take a second breath.
That's fair. Patreon roulette. Random shout out to someone on the emergency medicine tier. We have Sax Daddy.
Woo!
Sax Daddy. Thank you for being a patron, Sax Daddy. I like your name. And thank you all for listening. We're your hosts, Will and Kristen Flannery. Sax Daddy. That's so good. Also known as the Glaucomfleckens. Special thanks to our guest. Do you think he plays the sax?
I hope so.
Okay. Special thanks to our guest, Dr. David Hilden. Our executive producers are Will Flannery, Kristen Flannery, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooke. Is like a childhood nickname that he was given?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
It doesn't sound like a childhood nickname kind of thing.
It seems like I would have, if I had a friend who played the saxophone in like middle school band,
Sure.
might call him Sax Daddy.
Yeah. But
Anyway.
he would have had to play the saxophone.
reach out, Sax Daddy, and
Tell us the origin
give
story.
us the origin of Sax Daddy. Our editor and engineer is Jason Portizer. Our music is by Omer Benzvi. Did I get everybody? I think I did. To learn about our Knock Knock Highs program disclaimer and ethics policy, submission verification, licensing terms, and HIPAA release terms, Glaucomfleckens.com is where you can find all that. Reach out to us at knockknockhigh@human-content.com with any questions, concerns, or fun medical puns. Knock Knock High is a human content production.
Knock, knock, goodbye.
Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen, or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Help you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.